Hi, everyone, and welcome to Mindset Live. I am Renee.
Hey, what's up? I am Johnny in the house. And when I say in the house, I mean literally I am in my home for the last 2 years. So I am excited to be getting out soon. Talk about who we have coming on today.
So today we have a great guest. Her name is Adrian Levy. She is a yoga teacher. She is a Pilates instructor. And she has a great mindset.
Yes, we're really excited, and she's ready to come on.
She's ready, so let's
view the recordings and get it going. Yeah, let's do it. Here things are happening. We are
She's
getting ready.
on.
Things are happening. We're getting there. There's going to be.
Connecting.
Hey!
Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
how are you guys doing today?
Good.
We're great. How are you?
Good, thanks. Yeah, it's nice and sunny out. It's still pretty chilly, but not as windy as it has been the last few days. So I just got back from a nice walk. So yeah, feeling good.
Oh, fantastic. So one of the things that we're really excited to talk to you about is your philosophy and mindset about journey and about this concept that the journey is just as important as the destination.
Mm-hmm.
And in my own life, I was so focused on the destination all the time, I never really focused on the journey, and was only through, I guess, through changing and through CBD that we was able to sort of bring that. What was it like for you? What was that? What does that mean to you?
Well, I think one thing about us as humans is we tend to see black or white, right? So we can be either so strict or just so laissez-faire about things, and to learn to find that balance point in the middle. And of course, nothing is static, so it's not like we find that perfect middle ground and stay there. No, we fall out of it. Like we veer off to one side and then the other. And I think it's really about being like mindful with yourself and others, and being understanding, and just, to keep on going. So sometimes you're really focused on where you're going, and that's important too. But then it's always important to remind oneself that there is not just the one path that leads there, right? So if we want to go on a little adventure on our way, that's wonderful.
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your journey and how you've used your philosophy in your life.
Okay, so I think I've always been a really curious person, which I think has helped me to be open to different mindsets. So when I started integrating yoga and Pilates in my life more, that helps you become more mindful about your body and also about your heart space or your soul, which, are places inside ourselves that need to be fed, but so does our body. And I think that made me more mindful of what I put into my body and how I can help my mind to be where I want it to be. So, I've been pretty much a lifelong vegetarian, and I started a plant-based diet not too long ago, actually just under 2 years. And I remember then I began that journey because I actually, I had very high cholesterol, and I wanted to try out a path to change that. And I was really intimidated because I thought, oh gosh, what can you still eat if if there's no dairy, which I've always been a really big lover of. So one of the things I was really excited, and thank you so much for receiving my health drops.
Yeah.
And one of the things on a plant-based diet that, I'm still like trying to figure out is to get my vitamin B12 and get my vitamin D, because if you just do a quick Google search, if you put in what foods have vitamin B12, you'll find a long list of things that are all not part of a plant-based diet. So I was really excited about finding this easy way to integrate it. Of course, there are foods that you can eat to get enough of that.
That's amazing.
That's really amazing. I just recently, I'm not vegan, but I did just recently cut out meat and poultry, and kind of eggs, but I'm not committing to it. It's just like some feeling it's not feeling natural to me to eat meat right now. I don't know why that's happening.
Right.
But
So it's very natural for me to want to eat meat, but because Rene cooks the meals, I'm now suddenly not eating meat either. And so that's a nice benefit. So let me ask you a question. We're in a very interesting phase in our lives, totally as a society, in the sense that we've lived through this year of a pandemic. We could sort of see the sunshine through the trees a little bit. We're at 2 million vaccinations a day. The sun is getting longer than instead of being shorter. And we can sort of see what a new normal might begin to look like.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you were able to take with you through this past year that you were able to see as a benefit to bring into this next phase? Or how would you help somebody who's a little worried about what that next phase looks like? Because as much as it's exciting, it's still this constant change.
Yeah. Well, change is the only thing that's always constant in our life, right? As long as we're alive, there is going to be change. And sometimes the change that we are the most scared of is the most beneficial to us, because it shakes us out of the ways in which we have gotten stuck. So I think a lot of us pre-pandemic, we led beautiful, wonderful lives, but maybe we got a little stuck in just these routines. We all had long commutes. We had to, everything was really set for us. So I think it was really scary when we had to take so much responsibility all of a sudden for setting up our own schedule and figuring it out.
Yeah.
But then things that are really challenging can be so rewarding too, because we figured it out. And now maybe we have gotten to a point where we've settled into the routines that we've developed during this past year. So we never want to let go of routines. We're like, okay, like this is it now. So it's a great place for us to be shaken out of this new routine and see what can come next. And I mean, we've weathered so much in this past year. We've all grown so much. We may have discovered sides about ourselves we were unaware of. So it can only grow into something even more beautiful. No?
Wow.
That's an amazing mindset.
Amazing. 100% agree with you. That is
really
amazing. Yeah. So back to the health drops, because I was just curious. So I love the health drops. I also have recently started taking the health drops in the morning now. I switched my routine up. I was taking focus, happy, and calm, but now I start my day with the health drops. And I think it is because of the vitamin B12 and the vitamin D.
Yeah. So what I like about it too is that I'm sure you can just take it as it fits your routine. There we are again, routines. But it says take half a dropper 4 times each day. So I think having to commit just short term, you can just do it for a week first, right? Mm-hmm. To this new thing of taking something 4 times. So that for me is 4 opportunities, 4 chances in my day to take a little moment to remind myself of what is my mindset, what am I trying to achieve, right? Yeah. So this is just like a short moment I can take for my health.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
That's exactly what it is. Part of it was always this, if you had a mindset and you were able to make an intention towards that mindset, that was, half of the battle. The product was going to have these real effects, but to make the intention to want to make yourself healthy, to make the intention to want to make yourself happy or calm or focused, it's such a big part of why this product really works.
Because those times that you're doing it, you're choosing to say, I am taking care of myself. I believe in myself so much that I deserve love, I deserve care, I deserve health. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And I thought it was interesting, Rene, that when we talked about your current diet for a moment, you said you're not committing. Because I think you are committing. You are committing to trying out something new and to try out what works for your body, what works for your comfort levels and happiness. And I think that's really what it's all about. We don't have to always sign a contract that ties us to something for a year or for whatever. You're committing to eating and moving and living in this day as feels right and beneficial to you in this day.
True. I'm committing to listening to my body and what it's telling me.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. That is such a great way of looking at it. Wow. I just love that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I remember that you were one of the first people who embraced and loved our mask mouth spray.
I
And
love it
that
too.
was, we were so thankful and we have so much gratitude because you were an early adopter and you loved the product and it really got a lot of the ball rolling. So that was great.
It's to date, I love the health drops too. That is my favorite CBD product of all times. I love lavender. I love the smell of it. I love it in, like, you know, as a bath or something, but I also love it as a culinary ingredient. So I like using it in baked goods and as tea. So, and peppermint is great. And I think the like combination of the calming effects of lavender and then the uplifting and energizing effect and just freshening of the mint. I love that. Love that marriage.
Yes. Now, do you use it without putting your mask on? Like I use it during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I do.
I know it confuses people sometimes. Like, do I just put it in my mask? Do I put it in my mouth? But you could really use it any time of day, anytime you want. It's just an extra bonus that it does make you feel better.
It even works if you just spray it on your wrist, rub your wrists together, just like as an aromatherapy little moment if you need that somewhere on the go.
So smart. But I love that because when you do spray it in your mask, you also get that aromatherapy. That was our whole thing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the terpenes that we use in our products are, you know, they started in that aromatherapy space. You know, most people know the limonene and the linalols as being part of the aromatherapy. It was only recently that they realized they have these wellness benefits when they combine them with a full spectrum CBD. So that's exciting as well. You did a great video with the honey sticks.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was so much fun. And that's another thing I think that has been on people's minds, just because we live our lives at home so much more. So likely we are preparing more of our own foods in this past year. And there, again, it's easy to fall into routines. We have these few dishes that we always cook, and then we still have days where it's just, you know, it's hard to make that space to sit down and, you know, have silverware and all this stuff and have a sit-down meal. So I love smoothies for that, and I love how you can also get super experimental and just try out things. And, you know, it's just usually one serving that you make. So even if it has a lot of great nutrients and turns out not tasting amazing because you tried something a little out there, it's fine.
Well, I happen to add the honey sticks to a lot of things that I make.
Yeah, no, I can attest to that.
It always makes everything taste better.
Everything tastes better. Pot roast with honey.
No.
I feel like we're getting close to that, though. I think we're getting close to. No, Rene does like to use the honey in many of our meals.
It's true.
What's your go-to or favorite recipe to use it in, Rene?
What do I love it in my smoothies every morning? I make a smoothie with strawberries, bananas, blueberries, or sometimes I do a smoothie with cashew butter or almond butter, bananas, honey stick. It's the simplest thing, and it tastes delicious and like fills me up.
Yeah.
And do you do one stick, or do you do 2 sticks?
I do 2 sticks because I usually make enough that John could have some too. Like, and I make enough.
It's very nice of her, by the way. I appreciate that. She offers me a little.
I like to get some yummy stuff. But yeah, so the honey sticks are great. And speaking of cooking, that's so like interesting that you brought that up, because we added a whole thing during the pandemic to our lives, which is we ordered these something called Hellofresh. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it is a meal, like you get prepared, like meals are not prepared, but you get all the ingredients and you get a recipe and you pick it every week. And that's our like time that we like to cook. It's like a totally new thing for us. We cook it together. We do it 3 nights a week, and it's new things, very fun.
It is. It's great. I enjoy being the sous chef. That's tremendous enjoyment for me personally, and it's what I'm taking with me out of this experience. So let me ask you a question. If you had to give advice to somebody who was thinking about trying CBD for the first time, what would you say to them? How would you, from your experience?
Well, I think it would depend on like what they ask me, and also I think it depends on how well I know them. So if I knew that they are someone who has trouble falling asleep, I would recommend the the rest drops or gummies. And I would also ask them what they like and see if there's, so if someone has trouble falling asleep, I think rituals can help us, you know, find our mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Absolutely.
would say, well, maybe try the drops, and maybe you can find an herbal tea blend that you can just every nighttime when you go brush your teeth, you put on the kettle and then you prepare your tea and have that. And I would also advise them to give it a little time and to also be open to the mindset and make it their own. So what works for me might not work for someone else. What you try first might not work for you. So always be open and be curious and allow yourself that space to experiment. So maybe you want to add a little, like just a calming movement practice, take your CBD, have your tea, and make it something that feels right for you, that touches your heart space, and take it from there.
That's fantastic. Wow.
Yeah, that is exactly how we feel.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We do. It's doing something for yourself. It's
Yes.
Everyone is an individual, and you have to get to know what is right for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I don't know if you've heard of this thing. It's called CSS. It's sort of what's being talked about in the mental health community right now. It's COVID stress syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're talking about how there's this entire, you know, all of us are going to be dealing with this sort of PTSD type symptoms from all the changes. Obviously, people like you and people like us tried to use these natural remedies to help keep us balanced as these things were happening. And so the same recommendations that we've always made, CBD, yoga, meditation, mindset, all those things I think are going to have tremendous benefits as people begin to transition into whatever the new normal is going to be. To that end, do you have any strategies for people that are excited about what the new phase is going to be, but are also still a little trepidatious? I mean, I don't know about you. I haven't done indoor dining yet. So I'm excited about it, but there's a little bit of part of me that's a little nervous as much as I'm excited. And you know, we're not there yet, but we're definitely headed there.
Mm-hmm. Again, listen to yourself. Don't push yourself. Like don't succumb to peer pressure. And as with everything in life, I think we can find a compromise to make situations beneficial to ourselves and others too. So if your friends say, "Man, we haven't seen you in forever. We really let's reserve a table and get together," and you're not quite there. Maybe you have it's getting warmer now, so maybe you have an outdoor space at your home where you can say instead, invite them over to, you know, have dinner at your patio. And baby steps can also be helpful. So you might not want to go out for a full meal, but just, you know, go get a coffee somewhere, see how that feels to sit indoors with other people, share space. Yeah, just again, be mindful of your needs and others.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice.
Great advice. Listen to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think the overarching theme is, you know, self-care. Take care of yourself, and to consistently figure out ways to continually acknowledge that significant changes took place, and that you may be dealing with, you know, feelings that are strange or you're not 100% comfortable with, and that there are these wonderful natural ways that you can combat them, including CBD and yoga and Pilates and mindfulness and all of these wonderful natural ways to, as you say, sort of get you on your journey. When you were on your journey originally before March of last year, are you going to continue to do the things that you planned prior, pick those up again, or are you going to just continue whatever this evolution is for you and where this has taken you?
I think it's gonna be a mix of both, right? Because I think we still like have that path that we've seen for ourselves or that we have been living. And it's gonna probably go closer to that again in some ways, and maybe move away farther from that in other ways. Right. And I know for you, it's been a big year with the Mindset Wellness CBD company, right? And
yes.
So do you think you would have been here now if things hadn't happened as they had during the past year?
There's no way of knowing.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't know, what do you think?
Listen, I've come to the conclusion that a lot of what I've done is really not anything I've done. I think the universe is really looking out for me in a lot of ways at this point, and I think I'm very open to that. And I'm open with a high frequency towards everything. And it took me a long time to get there, to move from extreme anxiety to balance and now to openness. But I think that the pandemic pushed me to places that were so uncomfortable that I had to figure out solutions. And those solutions are now certainly moved me in terms of my evolution forward, where I wouldn't have gotten here without those painful moments.
It's true. It led us.
That's wonderful. That's such a, well, that's the silver lining, I think, to being challenged, right? Where we have to go to these places that we don't like going there, because it's really comfortable to just lay down on your couch and put on a movie and not have to actively pursue or do anything. But then we always know we feel better if we leave the couch and go on that walk. And of course, we'd love for our couch to still be there when we come back. But we're also very adaptable, right? So.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think about, for my whole life, I think about that Bowie song, Changes.
Yeah.
Changes, turn and face the strange. It's just, it's just this constant theme. And I remember so much of my anxiety was caused by this desire to control the future, and the future's changing. And so you're like fighting to stop something that's constantly changing. You know you're going to lose every time if you fight that battle. And when you let it go, you say, all right, change is constant, pivot, flow, figure it out.
That's definitely the one thing that is constant, which
choose
is
your
change,
mindset,
right? And that's how you choose mindset.
And I think that goes all the way back to what you said in the beginning too, Jon, that sometimes we get so focused on where we're going that we forget enjoying or being where we are. And the present is there, it's here for us right now, and it's worth so much being able to be there, to have chosen your mindset and sit in that mindset and get the benefits of it right in that moment, right?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Yeah. I just heard something the other day. Someone said, stop trying to become and just be. And I thought that was just amazing. It just shifted something.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to take your class, somebody wants to experience all that is Adrian Levy, what do they do? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, I teach for Just Like so you would just go to that website on the platform, and you can, right now we have a two-week free trial for new clients to sign up. And also I think I'm teaching a class on the Mindset Wellness CBD Instagram at, I think the last Wednesday of this month.
Yes.
So people could find me there too. And I think if someone wants to order a product, there is the code Just Like too for 10% off and free shipping.
That's right.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Right, Mindset Wellness CBD. And if you go to Mindset Wellness CBD, go to Wellness, and then go to Yoga and Meditations, your Wellness Wednesday class is available for anyone to download or to view if they want to enjoy that class again. So it's
on their own time. Amazing.
Yeah.
This was so fun. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, you are really, you're a special guest. Thank you. You're brilliant.
Thank you so much for having me, both of you.
Thank you again. So much gratitude for you, so much gratitude for our customers, so much gratitude for the reorders.
Yes.
So much gratitude.
Yes, and if anyone wants to DM us, has any questions, just feel free. We are always available to answer anything you need.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Have a lovely rest of your day.
Yeah, you too, Adrian.
Bye. Thanks.